On December 3rd, Team USA lost the 2020 Mosconi Cup to Team Europe by a score of 11-3. They didn't have a chance. Or did they? Hello, my name is Bob. Welcome to A Short Stop on Pool. I want to say thank you to everyone who has purchased my book, A Short Stop on Straight Pool. You can get your copy now at www.shortstoponpool.com. Click the link in the description below to watch the book trailer. I hope you get a lot from your book and that you'll join the discussion at my YouTube channel. But today, I want to take a closer look at the 2020 Mosconi Cup. Why did Team USA lose so badly? Did they just have an off tournament, or were they outclassed by superior opponents? Was the final score an accurate representation of each team's skill level, or was the match closer than the final score revealed? I rewatched the entire event while capturing what I consider to be the relevant shots and data that could answer these questions. Most of this video consists of clips of these shots played back at double speed. This is not a highlight video of the Mosconi Cup. You can click a link in the description to jump to any match or right to the end of the video for my summary and conclusions. 9-ball is a game of table control. As such, the opening break shot of each game is of paramount importance. It used to be that players would simply attempt to smash the rack as hard as possible with the goal of pocketing as many balls as they can. Today, thanks in no small part to two participants in this year's Cup, Deuel and Shane Van Boening, the break shot has been reinvented and is performed in a much more controlled fashion. Today, players attempt to pocket either the one in the side pocket or the wing ball in the corner pocket while controlling the cue ball in the center of the table. In my opinion, break shot success is one of the key determining factors to success at 9-ball. I made no attempt to score successes, failures, and lucky shots while playing safeties or kicking, as this quickly becomes a subjective and out-of-control possibility matrix. Let's just stick to the facts. In this chart, I will score each team's success at making the one ball, wing ball, or other balls on the break, as well as whether they break dry, no balls pocketed, or have a shot after the break. Note that having a shot after the break in this context only means that the player can see the next ball. They can possibly remain in control of the table by either pocketing the ball or playing a safety. Next, I will record missed shots, fouls, and fluke shots to see what impact they may have had on the final score. And finally, I tracked the leg shot winner for each match. I give each player credit for one Mosconi Cup point for a singles win and 1/2 point for a doubles win. Are you ready? Let's go! The team match begins with the first of many legs, won by the Europeans. Joshua Filler makes one ball on the break, and he does have a shot at the one. There are a number of safeties before Skylar Woodward misses a very difficult 6-ball, after which Joshua Filler makes a crazy fluke shot to be able to close out the rack. Shane Van Boening broke dry, and after a very short safety exchange, Joshua Shaw made a tough combination and ran out. Next, Ouschan breaks dry, and he doesn't leave a shot for Chris Robinson. Chris tries a difficult bank safety combination, but he leaves a tough shot for Albin, who makes it and runs out. To begin Game 4, Billy Thorpe makes the one ball in an upper corner pocket. He does not have a shot on the 2-ball, so he plays a safety. Kaci comes to the table and makes an incredible 2-rail kick and pockets the 2-ball. And then what follows is the now infamous shirt foul. Here's an enlargement of the only other camera angle that I've seen, and I really can't tell. Regardless, this was a big turnaround in the match. Instead of 4-0 the Europeans, Billy Thorpe ran out to make it 3-1. For Game 5, Fedor Gorst makes the wing ball in the corner pocket. Then, even though he can't see the 1, he's able to pocket it rail first and then misses the 2-ball trying to carom it off the 9. And then Deuel runs out to make it 3-2. For Game 6, Skylar Woodward makes the 1-ball in the side. He doesn't have a shot. He pushes and misses a really tough bank, and then Joshua runs to the 6-ball and misses to make it 3-3. Game 7 featured Jason Shaw and Shane Van Boening, a matchup that the Cup featured quite often. After a dry break, Shane ran out. Game 8 was probably the longest of this match. Chris Robinson broke dry and left only a somewhat difficult combination, which Ouschan missed. After Chris missed a kick shot on the 1-ball, Albin ended up with this angle on the 4-ball. I believe that Albin could have played position for the combination or to shoot the 6 in the lower left. Instead, he missed a very difficult 4 ball, but look at his position if the 4 had dropped. Chris missed this combination, Albin played safe, and then Chris made a nice long rail bank to close out the match. And this was probably the happiest we saw Team USA for the remainder of the Cup. Let's take a look at the stats. Neither team had their breaks working yet, which is to be expected. There was only 2 balls made on the break by each team. Only Europe had a shot after a break. That was Joshua Filler. There were 2 dry breaks for each team. Europe missed 5 shots and the USA missed 4. Was the shirt foul balanced out by Joshua Filler's fluke 6 ball? I'll let you decide. Either way, I think a 5-3 score in a short race is very close and it could have easily gone the other way. Let's take a look at the next match. For match number 2, Europe wins the lag. Joshua Filler makes a wing ball on the break, and he has a shot on the break. Federer and Joshua run out a relatively easy rack for the first game. Next, Shane Van Moning makes a last-minute ball in the upper corner pocket. Unfortunately, the 3 balls tied up, and Corey butchers a shot trying to get position for a safety. After a safety battle that included another fluke by Joshua Filler and a miss by Joshua, Shane fouled on this shot, leaving an easy combination for Europe. For rack 3, Federer makes a last-minute ball, and they have a shot on the 1. Joshua makes an amazing positional shot to get on a difficult 8 ball, and the third game goes to Europe. Corey broke dry in game 4, and after a safety by each team, Joshua made a great hit on this jump shot and fluked in another ball. Federer jumped in the 2 ball, but then Joshua hung up the 3. Corey misplayed position on the 8 ball, leading to a miss with built-in safety by Shane and a somewhat fortunate win for USA. Joshua broke dry in game 5, and this time it was Corey Deuel who fluked in a ball. A safety battle following this miss by Joshua Filler led to Europe getting another chance, which Federer missed. Another lengthy safety battle led to this uncharacteristic miss by Federer and USA's second win. On his second break, Shane made another last-minute ball, but without a shot on the 1, Corey elected to push out. Europe passed the shot back, and a questionable shot by Corey led to another Europe win. Federer made a last-minute ball on the break. Unfortunately, they did not have a shot on the 1 ball. A failed safety by Joshua should have been an easy run-out, but Shane uncharacteristically messed up position on the 9. After a safety by Corey, Federer Gorst made a great long rail bank shot on the 9 ball to secure the win for Europe. For match number 2, Europe made 3 balls on the break and twice had a shot after the break, a very slight improvement. USA made 2 balls on the break and once had a shot afterwards, and both teams had 1 dry break each. Surprisingly, Europe had 5 missed shots compared to USA's 1, and 2 fluke shots by Europe compared to USA's 1. The cup is now tied at 1 point each, and next up is Kaci versus Chris Robinson. For match 3, USA wins their first lag. Then Chris Robinson makes the 1 ball on the break, and he's got a shot on the 2. After a couple of safeties, Chris makes the 2 and 3 and then misses a tight 4 ball. And Kaci runs out to take game 1. Breaking from the right side of the table, Eklund hits the balls well but comes up dry. Chris plays a safety on the 1 ball and Eklund makes a hit on the jump shot but sells out a shot, and Chris cleans the table to tie the score at 1 apiece. On Chris's next break, he makes the 1 ball on the side, which is a rarity so far, plus another ball, and he has a shot on the 2. He makes a great shot on the 2 ball, but then earns a miss with this 3. And Eklund clears the table for the win, which is followed by the second dry break for Kaci. Chris makes the 1 ball, but then he earns his 3rd miss of the match by butchering this 2 ball. But then Kaci earns his first miss by missing the 2 ball as well. And Chris clears the table to tie the score at 2 apiece. Again, Chris makes the 1 ball on the side, and for the 3rd time, he's got a shot on the 2. And he clears the table to pull ahead 3-2. This time, Eklund makes the wing ball, and I have to give him credit for that 1 ball on the side as well. But the 2-ball on the side still is not working out for him, and he rearranges the entire table on this miss. And Chris clears the table to get on the hill first. Followed by another great break by Chris, making the wing ball and the 1 on the side. Chris plays a safety, but he leaves the cue ball far from the object ball. Kaci jumps in the 2-ball, and on the very next shot, he jumps in the 3-ball, followed by a nice run out to bring the score to 4-3. Next, we learn that Shane Van Boening is learning how to juggle, and that Carl Boys has already got it down. For his last break of the match, Kaci really put some power into it, but he came up dry. Chris played safe, but then Eklund made a tough 1-ball, and then a great rail-first carom to pocket the 9 and tie the score at 4 apiece. For Chris's last break, he made the wing ball again and had a nice shot on the 1-ball. Chris was in the process of running out when he really overcooked his position from the 7 to the 8-ball. With the shot clock running out, Chris banked the 8, but didn't get position on anything but another bank shot on the 9, which he missed, and that gave the match to Kaci. This match was really heartbreaking in that Chris Robinson played really well, and he actually earned the victory but gave it away in the end. This was a well-played match on both players' part. There were no fouls or flukes. Chris definitely broke better than Kaci. 4 times Chris had a shot after the break, and Eklund had 3 dry breaks compared to no dry breaks for Chris. Chris missed 4 shots compared to Eklund's 2 misses. Perhaps that was the difference in this close match that led to Eklund scoring the first individual point for Team Europe. Europe wins the leg in the second doubles match of the day, and then Jason Shaw does not make the wing ball or the 1-ball, but a last-minute ball falls in and they have a shot on the 1. Jason hangs up a very thin 2-ball for Europe's first miss, and Billy and Sky clean up for the first win of the match. Skylar makes the wing ball and 2 other balls, but does not come up with a shot on his break. After a number of safeties and jump kicks, Europe gets the advantage and runs the rack. For Game 4, Albin makes a late ball in an upper corner pocket, and Team Europe runs out to this carom to win. Chris Robinson loses the cue ball on his break, and Europe runs out for another win. Jason Shaw breaks dry to open Game 5. Team USA runs out to the 6, and then Billy Thorpe misses this bank shot. I think this is a missed safety, not a missed shot by Albin. Regardless, Team USA wins their second game. Skylar makes 1 ball on the break, but they don't have a shot. This time it's Billy Thorpe's safety attempt that sells out a shot, and Europe cleans up the rack. The last rack of this match is as strange as the shirt foul. Albin breaks dry and doesn't leave a shot, and after some discussion, Skylar pushes out, but he didn't declare the push, and it's called a foul on Team USA. Team Europe takes ball in hand and runs out to win their 3rd point of the cup. Match 4 was really well played, especially by Team Europe. There was only 1 missed shot from each team. I think one of the keys to this match was not so much the balls made on the break, but the fact that Team Europe had a shot after the break twice, and Team USA did not get a shot after any of their breaks. The other key to the match was 2 fouls by Team USA versus none by Team Europe. Europe now leads 3 points to 1, and the final match of the day is Albin Ouschan versus Shane Van Boening. Let's check it out. Europe wins the leg between Albin Ouschan and Shane Van Boening, and Albin scratches on the break. Several safeties follow before Albin makes a nice shot in the side and a behind-the-back draw shot to win the first game. After a dry break by Shane, Albin misses the 1 ball but gets a lucky leave. Shane makes a nice real first shot with the 1 ball and runs out to tie the score at 1 apiece. For his second break, Albin goes back to the other side of the table and makes the 1 in the side. Having no shot, Albin pushes, Shane returns the shot, and Albin scratches. Shane misplays position on the 7 and earns a miss. Then Albin misplays position on the 8 ball and returns the favor. And Shane comes up dry on his second break as well. Albin runs to the 6 ball, and with time running out on the shot clock, he makes this tough combination, and notice where the cue ball stopped. Albin stays on the right side of the table for his next break. He makes a last-minute ball and has a shot on the 2. He runs to the 6 ball but hangs it and hooks Shane. Shane's kick does not work out, and Albin easily cleans up the last 4 balls. Trailing 2-3, Shane makes the 1 on the side, plus another ball, and he has a shot on the 3. A routine rack for Shane makes the score 3-3. Albin barely misses the 1 on the side, but it goes in the corner, and he's got a thin shot on the 2. This time Albin makes it look easy and gets to the hill first. Shane makes the 1 on the side, plus another ball, and with a spread like that, the score is 4-4. This time Albin breaks dry, unfortunately, and Shane cleans up for the win and USA's second Mosconi Cup point. The score and the stats tell of a tight match that was well played. They both broke real well. However, Shane actually had 2 dry breaks to Albin's 1 dry break. Each player missed just once, and Albin had 2 fouls to Shane's 1. Looking at the overall standings for day 1, we can see that the Americans made more balls on the break. Europe missed 14 balls to America's 11, but Europe won 4 legs to America's 1. So it was a fairly close day. We know that day 2 was not close, and so it'll be interesting to see how the stats compare. Day 2 begins with a fan's choice match of Van Boning versus Shaw. Shaw wins the leg by a large margin. He makes the wing ball on the break, and he can see the 1 ball. After several safeties, Jason fouls on this jump shot, and Shane runs out for the win. On his first break, Shane makes the 4 ball in an upper corner pocket and can see the 1 ball. Shane's safety is really effective, and there isn't much chance for Jason to hit the 1 ball here. Shane's run out is pretty sloppy, and he misplays position on the 9 ball, leading to this missed shot. A nice bank shot by Jason ties the match at 1 apiece. On Jason's second break, the wing ball knocks a ball in the corner pocket and follows it in, but there's no shot on the 1. It appears Jason chose an offensive shot, so I have to mark that as a miss, with a predictable result. For his second break, Shane makes the 1 in the side, but can only see an edge of the 2 ball. I think this shot was an attempt to carry him in the 3 ball, so I have to mark that as a miss. Then Jason uncharacteristically misses the 2 ball, earning his second miss. Shane very deftly opens up the 8 and 9 ball on the 7 ball shot and pulls ahead 3-1. A ball gets kicked in on Jason's break, and he can see the 1 ball. And that's a fairly routine run out for Jason's second win. Next, Shane makes 3 balls, including the wing ball and 1 on the side, but doesn't have a shot. Jason refuses his push, and Shane's kick does not get safe. Jason rolls in a tough 4 ball and then clears the table to tie the score at 3. On his next break, Jason also makes the wing ball and the 1 on the side and has a shot on the 3. Jason makes the combination and gets to the hill first. Shane makes the wing ball and another ball but has no shot on the 1. Again, Jason refuses Shane's push. Shane misses this bank shot and gets a lucky leave. After a safety exchange, Shane makes this amazing jump bank. Then after some amazing safety play by both players, Jason's missed jump shot sells out the rack. At hill, Jason makes the wing ball, and he doesn't have a shot, but he can see the 1. Shane hits the 1 ball on the kick shot, but it hangs in the jaws, and then Jason makes an amazing multi-rail positional shot to land perfectly on the 2 ball and win the match 5-4. Wow, this was an amazingly well-played match that could have gone either way. Jason and Shane were pretty even on the miss and foul department, but look at the balls that they both made on the break, and there were no dry breaks in the match. 2 critical differences. Obviously, one is that Jason won the leg. The other is Jason had a shot after the break 4 times compared to Shane only having 1 shot after the break. I'm very curious to see if Team Europe continues to break as well for the rest of day 2. Match number 7 is Shaw Filler versus Woodward Robinson, and I'm sure you can guess who won the leg. Jason makes the wing ball on the break, but they need a jump cue to hit the 1. Schuyler jumps the cue ball and the 2 ball off the table for their first foul, and Europe runs out. Schuyler makes the wing ball, and Chris has a shot on the 1. Their run is halted when Chris hooks Schuyler, and Schuyler misses the jump shot. Jason's safety is rewarded when Joshua Filler makes this difficult 4 ball, and Europe pulls ahead 2-0. Jason helps Joshua locate the cue ball for the break, but nevertheless it comes up dry. And USA cleans up the table for their first win. Chris breaks well to open Game 4, but nothing falls. Shaw and Filler clean up to go ahead 3-1. Jason makes a ball on the break, but once again they don't have a shot. After a couple safeties, Jason cuts in a very thin 2-ball, but then Joshua misses the bank shot. And then a failed safety by Jason leads to USA's second win. Skyler switches to the other side of the table for his break, but still can't get anything to fall. Joshua's shot clock is beeping and he rushes over to miss the 2-9 combination. After a couple of safeties, Joshua fouls on this kick shot, and USA ties the score at 3 apiece. Next is a great break by Joshua Filler. The wing ball and 1 ball goes in and he's got a shot. But Jason misses the 2-ball while opening the 4-6. After a kick safe by Chris Robinson, Joshua Filler misses this jump shot. Then I think this attempt by Chris counts as a safety, not a miss. A few shots later, Jason's safety with Karam on the 9 works out much better. Down 4-3, Chris makes the wing ball and 3 other balls. We know what the outcome's going to be there. And then at Hill, Jason makes a ball in upper corner pocket, has an easy shot on the 1 with an inevitable result. I think this was another well-played and close match. Both teams broke well. Europe surprisingly had 4 missed shots compared to USA's 1. And I think the deciding factor in this match was the lag. Europe got to break on the hill and they broke and ran out. A trend that I'm noticing now in the overall stats, you take a look at the total balls that were made on the break. USA made 31 to Europe's 23. However, Europe had 14 shots after the break, whereas USA only had 9. Europe broke dry 10 times to USA's 7 and had 26 fouls and missed shots compared to USA's 20. So having a shot after the break seems to be really significant. It'll be interesting to see how these stats hold up as the Cup continues. Match 8 features Fedor Gorst versus Corey Deuel, and Europe wins the leg. It's interesting to note that at this point, Europe has won 7 legs to USA's 1, but the final tally on legs is 10-4, so each team wins 3 legs from this point out. Fedor makes the wing ball on the first break of the match and has an easy shot on the 1 to start. It looks like Fedor has gotten way out of line on the 7 ball, but he figures out a way to finish the rack. Corey Deuel is known as a break shot tactician, and he doesn't disappoint. He makes the win ball and gets a shot on the 1. Corey misplayed position on the 5 and left Fedor this shot. Fedor misses a difficult shot and scratches. The score is tied 1-1. The wing ball barely stays up for Fedor, but it's a dry break, and Corey runs to the 3 and plays safe. Fedor makes the 3 with a jump shot, then plays safe, and then Corey scratches on his return safe attempt. Fedor easily makes the 7-8 combination and wins the game. Corey easily makes a wing ball to open game 3, and he can see the 1 ball but has no shot. Corey's safety moves the 8 ball in front of the pocket, and Fedor jumps it in on a combination and wins the game. Fedor easily makes the wing ball, and he's got a shot at the 2. His safety is devastating. Corey fouls on this attempt. And then Fedor makes it look all too easy. And the score is now 4-1. Once again, Corey makes the wing ball as easily as Fedor, but has a tough shot on the 1. Corey plays safe on the 1 ball and then on the 6. While Fedor hits both balls, Corey makes a great shot on this 6 ball to win the game. Fedor makes the wing ball on the break again and his own multi-rail positional shot on the 5 to win the match. Corey and Fedor's break statistics were almost identical. They each had only 1 foul, and they both had a shot after the break 3 times. Interestingly, Fedor is the only one who had a single dry break. I think the difference in this match was just Fedor's ability and consistency in running out at almost every opportunity, and that was the deciding factor in this match. Next, Europe wins the leg on what promises to be an interesting doubles match between Ouschan and Kaci versus Shane Van Boning and Billy Thorpe. Kaci makes the wing ball and fortunately gets real short side position on the 1. After a few safeties, Team Europe gets the advantage after Billy Thorpe's kick and win the first game. Next, Shane makes the 1 ball in the side pocket, and they've got a great shot on the 2 ball to start. That's a break and run to tie the score at 1 apiece. Ouschan also breaks well, making the wing ball, and they have a shot on the 2. After making some tricky shots, it doesn't look like the 7-9 combination goes, but Albin judges the throw on the shot perfectly. It seems that both teams have figured out how to make the wing ball on the break, and Billy Thorpe is no exception. They make quick work of this rack to tie the score at 2 apiece. Next, Eklund makes the 1 in the side pocket, and they can see the 2 ball. After a long series of safeties, jumps, and kicks, USA gets the advantage and pulls ahead 3-2. The 1 ball goes in the side pocket on another great break by Shane. Billy strikes the 9 ball a bit roughly, but it still counts as a break and run. Albin makes the wing ball and the 1 in the side for another great break. So Europe replies with a break and run of their own. And now Billy continues the strong breaking of this match by making the wing ball and the 1 in the side. Unfortunately, Shane's shot on the 2 ball goes astray. I'm not sure if Billy's jump qualifies as a missed shot or a bad safety. But the result is a hill score with Europe breaking. Eklund makes the wing ball for a break and run for Europe to win the match. Wow, this match was by far the best match so far in the Cup in regards to the breaking department. Both teams made at least 1 ball on every single break and had a shot on the next ball on every single break. There was no dry breaks, misses, or fouls by either team, and that has to be a really tough loss for the Americans, considering they were ahead 4-2. Once again, winning the lag and being able to break on the hill may have been the deciding factor for Europe. For the last match of day 2, Billy Thorpe's lag is not very good, but it's better than Jason Shaw's. Billy broke great in the last match, but here he comes up dry. Jason's second safety does not work out, and the first game goes to Billy Thorpe. Jason continues Europe's habit of making both the wing ball and the 1 on the side, but he doesn't have a shot on the 2. Billy leaves Jason this shot, and he makes an incredible 3-rail position, but then he ends up long on the 5 ball and misses it while leaving no shot for Billy. After a couple of safeties, Jason misses a very thin attempt on the 5 ball. Billy makes the 5 ball and the 8 on this tough cut shot and wins the second game. Billy makes a late ball on the break, and he can see the 1. They each play a safety, and then Billy scratches on this kick shot. And Jason clears the table for his first win of the match. This time the wing ball goes in for Jason, and he can't see the 1, but it's hanging in front of the corner pocket. Jason kicks in the 1 ball with position on the 2 and carefully runs out to tie the score at 2 apiece. The wing ball goes in for Billy, and he's got a shot on the 1. Billy runs to the 6 ball and then plays this safety, but Jason kicks it right in the side and then plays another incredible 3-rail positional shot to win his 3rd game. Jason Shaw again makes the wing ball to open game 6. He's got an easy shot on the 1, leading to his 4th win. Billy makes the wing ball on his break as well. He can't see the 1 ball, but he lays down a great safety. Jason makes a great jump kick shot, and Billy runs down to the 4, makes the combination, but hooks himself, makes the jump shot, but then misses the 6. Jason then hangs up a really tough cut while getting perfect position. Then Billy makes a really nice power draw shot to win his 3rd game. Jason makes the wing ball and another ball, and not to be outdone, he makes this power draw shot on the 5 on his way to running out and winning the match. This match didn't go to the hill, so the leg really didn't factor in. It's interesting that Jason missed 3 shots, but it didn't really seem to hurt him. He made twice as many balls on the break, and that's possibly the difference, along with making no fouls and no dry breaks. Day 3 begins with a real powerhouse match between Filler and Ouschan versus Woodward and Van Boning, and Europe wins the leg. Albin breaks dry, and then after Schuyler misplays position on the 2 ball, Shane attempts a bank shot with the bridge and flukes in the 9 ball. Shane makes the wing ball, but unfortunately scratches in the side pocket. And Joshua and Albin make quick work of the rack. A great break by Joshua. He makes the wing ball and the 1 in the side, and they have a shot on the 2. Joshua executed a fantastic 3 ball here as Team Europe ran out for the win. Schuyler makes the wing ball and a last-minute ball. They can see the 1 ball, but without a clear shot. After a number of safeties, Schuyler scratches. And Europe pulls ahead 3-1. For Game 5, Albin makes the wing ball and a last-minute ball. They can see the 1. After a number of safeties, Europe gets the advantage, and Joshua Filler gets an excellent result from this thin, difficult shot. Shane makes the 1 in the side, but there's no shot on the 2 ball. Schuyler makes a baffling push-out, in my opinion, which just gives Europe a free shot at the 9 ball. But on his very next turn at the table, Schuyler makes an incredibly difficult slow roll shot while jacked up into a tiny position zone. And then Schuyler has a shot similar to the one that he misplayed in rack 1. This time he gets the position correct. USA wins their second game. It's the wing ball once again for Joshua Filler. Joshua misplays position on the 3, and Albin nearly scratches but gets a lucky lead. Schuyler's kick goes completely around the 3 ball. And that is the end of match 11. I think the stats are pretty straightforward for this match. Team Europe made 5 balls to USA's 3. They had 3 shots after the break compared to USA's 1. And then most telling, USA had 3 fouls in the match. Next up is Schuyler Woodward versus Joshua Filler. That's a match that Schuyler won 5-3 last year in Las Vegas. It's match 12, and USA wins just their 3rd leg. Schuyler makes the wing ball, and the 9 ball is hanging in the side pocket. Schuyler makes an incredibly thin cut shot, but gets an unfortunate scratch. And of course, Joshua Filler runs out to take the first game. Joshua makes the corner ball and can see the 1. Based on his cue ball positioning, I can only assume this is a shot, not a safety. It's an incredible shot. And that's a break and run for Joshua Filler. For his second break, Schuyler makes 1 ball up table and cannot see the 1. Joshua makes an unforced error kicking at the 1 ball. Schuyler fails to break out the 2 ball, and then his bank shot attempt misses. And Joshua pulls ahead 3-0. On his next break, Joshua makes the wing ball and 2 others, but doesn't have a shot on the 1 ball. Schuyler has an incredible reply to Joshua's safety, but his position on the 9 ball comes up short and he misses, trying to avoid the scratch in the corner pocket. Somehow the wing ball does not go in on Schuyler's break, and all 9 balls are on one half of the table. But Joshua uncharacteristically misses the 5 ball. And Schuyler banks the 5 ball, but then he returns the favor with the 6. Final score is 5-0 Joshua Filler, and Europe is 1 point away from winning the cup. Other than the leg, Joshua led in all of the stats. He had 2 shots after the break to Schuyler's 1. Joshua had 1 miss and 1 foul, whereas Schuyler had 3 misses and a foul. And Schuyler also had 1 dry break. This match certainly did not have to go 5-0. Sometimes that happens in 9 ball, and this is a very short race. But I think it is clear that Joshua played better 9 ball, made better shots and better outs on this particular day. And then to start match 13, Billy Thorpe wins another leg for USA. It's a great break by Billy as he makes the corner ball and the 1 ball on the side and has a shot on the 2. Chris was a bit fortunate on his first shot. Nevertheless, Team USA clears the table. Federer makes the 1 in the side, and they can see the 2 ball. Federer and Albin struggle getting to the 7 ball and then make an unfortunate scratch. And the Americans jump out to a 2-0 lead. This time Chris makes the wing ball on the 1 on the side, and they can see the 2. And Billy and Chris pull ahead 3-0. Next, Albin makes the wing ball, and Federer has a thin cut on the 1. A safety battle ends with this incredible kick by Albin Ouschan. Billy makes an incredible shot on the 4, only to miss this shot on the 6 ball, which is followed up by this surprising miss by Federer. Chris hits the 6, but it doesn't work out, and Team Europe wins their first game. Next, we have the first dry break of the match by Chris Robinson. After a few safeties, Europe seemed to have the game in hand, but Albin misses this 7 ball while jacked up over the 8. A couple more safeties, and Billy made this bank shot to set up a win for the Americans. And Schuyler Woodward seemed pleased. Federer makes a ball in the corner pocket, and they've got a good shot on the 1. Federer and Albin make easy work of the rack. And to start Game 7, Chris Robinson comes up with a dry break. Federer pushes. Billy's safety does not work out, and it's another win for Team Europe. Albin makes the wing ball, the 1 in the side, and they can see the 2. Federer flukes in the 2 ball while trying to play safe, which leaves Albin a long, difficult shot with the shot clock going off in his ears. And Billy and Chris save Team USA from suffering the worst Mosconi Cup loss with a 5-3 win. Team Europe broke slightly better in this match, and they had 4 shots after the break compared to Team USA's 2, and USA had 2 dry breaks. However, Europe led in the miss department with 3 misses to USA's 1. Perhaps that was the difference. in this match. The last match of Day 3 features the two powerhouses of this year's Cup, Jason Shaw and Shane Van Boening. Shane would love to win this match and go to Day 4, whereas Jason would really love to close out the Cup early with another win over Shane Van Boening. The match starts off with another win in the leg department for Team Europe. Jason makes an up-table ball, and he can see the 2-ball. But his safety attempt does not reach the rail. Shane leaves himself a very difficult positional shot on the 6, but he navigates around the table and takes the first game. Both the wing ball and the one on the side bobble and stay up for Shane. Jason's safety is locked tight, so Shane takes an intentional foul. Jason gets the first shot after a well-played safety battle. He makes the score 1-1. Jason then makes the one on the side and 2 more balls on a powerful break. Jason pockets an extremely difficult 2-ball and takes the game to pull ahead 2-1. For his second break, Shane makes the wing ball and one other and can see the 1. Shane makes some tough shots like this 3-ball to tie the match at 2 apiece. For Jason's next break, the 1 drops in the side and he has an easy shot on the 2-ball. Jason matches Shane's break and run, which was followed by an unusual dry break from Shane. Jason's table clearance put him on the hill for the match and Europe for the Cup. Jason makes a last-minute ball on his break and has a shot. Jason runs to the 6 and then somehow underdraws this shot and misses a very difficult 8-ball. Then Shane misses a very difficult 8-ball, after which Jason is very disappointed in himself for missing this spank shot. Then Shane force follows forward off the rail on a nearly straight-in 8-ball and flukes it in for the win. Next, Shane makes the wing ball and has a shot on the 1. Shane makes the 1-ball, but he hooks himself on the 2, and his kick shot sells out the 2-ball for Jason. A really smooth power draw shot from Jason gets him on the 3-ball. But then he missed while gaining tough position on the 5-ball. After a couple of safeties, Shane left this long shot on the 5-ball. But Jason appears to have a case of the nearies and can't make it quite yet. Shane's safety leaves another long and difficult shot on the 5-ball. But this time Jason fires it in for the win. In this match, Jason made twice as many balls on break as Shane. He had twice as many shots after the break, and Shane had 2 dry breaks. Jason had 4 missed shots, but all 4 misses came after he had won 4 games. If you watched all 14 matches, congratulations. You are a true pool connoisseur. Here's my stat sheet showing all 14 matches and totals for each team. It's worth pointing out that the relevance of any of these statistics is lessened because of the short race and alternate break format, which reduces the dominance of a statistically better player. However, a consistent trend in the data over 14 matches could be an indication of team dominance despite the format. I've heard some claim that Team Europe broke better. Let's take a look. Europe made 61 balls on the break compared to USA's 57. I would say that's pretty close, but an advantage to Europe. And each team broke dry about as often. However, while they each made about the same number of 1-balls on the side, Team Europe made the wing ball 8 times more than Team USA. In my opinion, the wing ball is more predictable, even given the balls were racked by the referee and the players could not check the rack. But there's an even more telling statistic. Team Europe had a shot after the break 37 times compared to USA's 25 times. That, along with more wing balls pocketed, tells me that Team Europe definitely broke better, meaning they broke with more control and more opportunities to control the table after the break. Looking at the rest of the data, each team pocketed a fluke shot 4 times. We have to assume the effects of these flukes will balance out over time. Team USA fouled 12 times and Team Europe fouled 10 times. But really, 22 fouls in 110 games? Is that normal for professional 9-ball? Seems kind of high to me. Anyway, the miss category surprises me. Team Europe missed 10 more balls than Team USA. Both teams seemed to miss more in the first 3 matches and then settled down some. But I really don't know what to make of these numbers. Of the 4 matches that Team Europe missed 4 or more balls, they won 3 of them, while Team USA missed 4 balls in only 2 matches and they won only one of those two. Did Team Europe leave fewer shots on their misses? I don't know. Maybe someone will have the patience to review the missed shots and see. If my memory serves me correctly, the AccuStats style statistics that I have seen in the past do not always show a strong correlation between missing less shots and winning or having a higher TPA. It just seems counterintuitive though. Here are the number of missed shots and fouls per player. Naturally, those who played in more matches will have a higher number. But isn't it interesting that the most valuable player of the 2020 Mosconi Cup, Jason Shaw, had nearly double the misses and fouls as nearly every other player? And finally, there was a lot of talk about Team USA losing almost every lag shot. Europe won 10 lags to USA's 4. I think it's important to point out that after match number 9, the lag score was 9-1, and after that point, Team USA won the last 3 of 5 lags. I believe the coaches made them start to practice the lag, but it was a case of too little too late. Winning the lag has 2 benefits. You get the chance to win the first game, which is very important in a short race, and you get to break in hill-hill matches. Of the 5 hill-hill matches, Europe won 4, breaking for 3 of those 4 wins. Of the non-hill-hill matches, Europe won 7-2 and won the lag in 5 of those wins. Europe won 8 of the 10 matches when they broke first, while Team USA won just 1 of the 4 matches when they broke first. In summary, in my opinion, winning the lag and breaking better alone was not the source of Europe's dominance. Rather, maintaining control of the table after winning the lag and breaking well was the critical difference in the teams this year. After all, if you win the lag, for example, and then promptly scratch on the first break, you have negated most of the advantage of winning the lag. Perhaps this is why Europe's misses did not seem to penalize them as much as it should have. Team USA did not capitalize on those opportunities as well as Team Europe did. Prior to the Cup, there was a lot of talk about the superior Fargo ratings of Team Europe. Every 2020 European player's Fargo rating was above 800, while only Shane from the USA team met that standard. While Shane is the best player in the world by Fargo ranking, the top 10 players in the world include no other Mosconi Cup Americans, but does include 3 members of Team Europe. How important are the Fargo scores in the Cup's short race alternate break format? At the 2019 Mosconi Cup, Team USA won by 11-8 in Las Vegas. There were 2 different players on each team. Niels Fine and Alexander Kazakis' Fargo ratings are nearly identical to Fedor Gorst and Albin Ouschan's. Justin Bergman's Fargo rating was 12 points higher than Corey Deuel's, while Tyler Steyer's rating was 11 points higher than Chris Robinson's. This seems to indicate that having a high Fargo rate loaded team does not necessarily guarantee a win. Another difference between this year's team is the number of world titles. By my count, Europe leads this statistic 7-4. Skylar Woodward was the only Mosconi Cup player this year with a world title and a sub-800 Fargo, but his 797 is only 3 points away. Like a higher Fargo score, having a world title demonstrates skill and consistency, but does not guarantee a win at the Mosconi Cup. Niels Fine also owns world titles, yet the 2019 European team still lost. Also, Charlie Williams recently pointed out the most lopsided Mosconi Cup score ever was when USA beat Europe in 2001 by a score of 12-1. This was despite Team Europe being strongly favored that year. I also find it interesting that Corey Deuel was a member of that USA team, as well as the winning USA team in 2018's Mosconi Cup. Finally, the lack of an audience in this year's Cup cannot be ignored. The raucous crowds make the Mosconi Cup a unique pool event, and their mission was surely felt by the players. No one knows how that affected this year's outcome, though I suspect that the quieter playing environment was more favorable to Team Europe's more methodical playing style. Is it fair to say that Team Europe was destined to win by a large margin due to their higher player ratings? No. The venue, the lack of an audience, last-minute player changes to Team USA, all these things surely had an effect, as did the coaching and the order of players selected, especially on Team USA. In my opinion, if the same match was played 10 times, 5 in America and 5 in Europe, Team USA would win a few of those events, but probably not more than half, and Europe's wins would be by a larger margin. Okay, so is it fair to say that Team Europe was just favored to win? Probably. Team Europe had a slight but significant advantage in break shot and table management consistency. Their higher Fargo scores and world titles, while dramatic, are indicative of these slight but critical differences between top-level players. But the short race and alternate breaks format surely diminishes the impact of these slight differences somewhat. What would it have taken for the 2020 Cup to be more competitive? Well, if 3 matches went the way of Team USA, the score would have been 8-6 in favor of Europe. There would have then been a 5th match on day 3 and a day 4, culminating in a closer score. If 4 matches went the way of Team USA, the score would have been tied at 7-7, a very competitive match, but still favoring the Europeans slightly. On any given day, and with a normal crowd in Europe, and the Americans lagging better, how likely would it be for 3 or 4 games to swing the way of Team USA? In my opinion, not very likely. Team Europe's higher Fargo scores and the data from my analysis point to much greater consistency at controlling the table, which is what 9-ball is all about. Lastly, there's one factor that I have not mentioned that could have won the match for the Americans. In 1997, Team USA won the Mosconi Cup. I am certain that their win was due to Earl Strickland and Jimmy Rempe's fantastic mullets. I apologize to Skylar and Billy, but y'all better find a new stylist before next year's Mosconi Cup. Do you agree with my analysis? Let me know in the comments below. This video is just my opinion and does not cover every factor that may have influenced the final score. I invite you to voice your opinion in the comments section below. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe to be notified when I post new videos. Thanks for watching.